let's move on to some brighter days. And topic number 10, the Tampa Bay Lightning looking to repeat, right, as the NHL champions. And it just seems like, man, Tampa Bay is trying to make a run at all these championships across the board, right? But in NHL, they've had one of the best teams over the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 years. So this is nothing new for them. But do you think they're going to be able to pull it off?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now they're up 3-1 in the series. They're actually playing Game 5 as we speak. So Tampa Bay, I mean, I would imagine that they're going to win tonight. I don't see how they don't, but they still have 2 more games to try to do that if they don't win tonight. But they're in Tampa Bay for this one, I believe. So I think they'll defeat the Canadiens tonight. You know, I think if they do win, a lot of folks are going to be asking, you know, which Stanley Cup final championship was more impressive? Was this year's run more impressive, or was last year's run more impressive because they beat the Stars 4-2 in last year's Stanley Cup final? And so if they win tonight, it'll be back-to-back Stanley Cups for Tampa Bay. I know Bruins fans don't like to hear that after what they did to the Bruins in the second round last year. But, you know, I think this year's title is actually going to be more impressive. We saw it in the NBA this year where, you know, they had the bubble season last year in both the NBA and the NHL, and everybody said, well, that championship's kind of wonky. You know, they're in a bubble, they're not traveling as much, they're not doing this and this. Everybody was kind of in it together on the same playing field, you know, playing for the same thing. You know, all those teams were kind of in the same spot in both the NBA and NHL. So I didn't feel like that season was as crazy as this season has been, because if you look at both the NHL and the NBA, the schedules are condensed. There's more games in a shorter amount of time. There was a quick turnaround from the bubble season to this season. I think this season is even tougher, especially in the NHL. Because you think about how tough a Stanley Cup playoff run is and how guys' legs are just, you know, screaming at them at the end of the season. And then we always hear about whenever a hockey team is knocked out of the playoffs, then all these injuries come out. Like all these guys played with a torn labrum, like Tuukka Rask, or some other players who need to have their knee scoped, or certain different things, different ailments that they have to take care of. So I think this particular season for Tampa Bay is actually a more impressive Stanley Cup run if they do, in fact, get it done here in 2021, just because this has been a crazy season. So, and how quickly this season started after last year's Stanley Cup run. So if they can do it again this year, which it looks like they will, this is very impressive by a Tampa Bay Lightning team that is now becoming one of the hierarchy organizations in the NHL.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that, because I don't really want to, because I'm a Bruins fan, but they're becoming really one of the better organizations in the NHL, one of those teams that is consistently putting themselves with a chance to be able to win the title. And here they are again. So they've built a really good roster over the years. I feel like over the last 5 or 6 years, they really have been one of the best teams in the NHL. So I think they're going to pull it off. I think they're going to bring another title to Tampa Bay. And man, they're looking good down there, and they're looking strong even going into next year. But yeah, I mean, their front line has been pretty good this year, and they've always had good goaltending. But I think this is really one of those things where I think this year the championship will be more impressive. I think because last year with the condensed divisions, especially, you weren't playing really everybody. You were only playing a handful of teams. So you really got kind of used to playing those teams, and you got a good look at them. This year, back to playing everybody, you know, the divisions are back to normal, and the travel's back to normal. And it's well, maybe not even normal because it's more condensed with more games because of the short turnaround, like you said. So I think it definitely will be a more impressive championship this year based off of getting back to those factors. And it's such a physical game, hockey is, just like football. So like you said, the grind, getting through the whole season, and they've been just really grinding away their opponents right now. They're doing that exact same thing in this series, and I expect them to win it and bring the title home back to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, the same. I think they're going to win it tonight. I just think they're primed for a Stanley Cup championship once again. Right now, games in the second period, there's about 15 minutes left in the second period. No score so far, so we'll see if Tampa Bay pulls that out or if Montreal will try to extend this series another game. Like we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, Bruins fans are like, which poison pill do I take? Do I root for the Canadians or do I root for the Lightning? Some people are saying Canadians, which I don't understand at all. I don't get it. I have respect for the Lightning. I don't want them to win Stanley Cup championships, but I have more respect for them. Are you seriously, as a Bruins fan, going to
the Canadians? No.
What?
No.
So no way, man. No way, man. So we'll see what happens tonight in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch down the stretch. Folks, that's going to do it for Comeback Sports here again this week. We got a lot of sports in today, a lot of different varieties, because the Olympics are coming up and also because of everything that's going on with the postseason and also with the All-Star Game coming up in Major League Baseball. But again, if you want to check us out all the time on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Comeback Sports. You give us a YouTube subscription, because anytime our great producer, Ben Kudo, cuts up all the segments, it'll go straight to your YouTube channel, the Comeback Sports YouTube channel. You can just go to the subscription page and see it right there. You don't have to search around for it. And also, folks, you see our Twitter handles at the bottom of the screen. You follow us on Twitter. We'll tweet out some of those clips as well and tweet out some of these sports stories that are going on. We always tweet out the live link before the show gets going, so you can follow us there to watch us live every Wednesday night as well. Brennan, any final thoughts before we sign off tonight?
Big shout out to James for his call. That was an amazing call. We loved it, man, and he really knew his stuff there. And hey, man, I'm still waiting for my first Japanese follower on Twitter. Let's go make it happen, people. Absolutely.
James, great job, buddy. Again, we're worried about our jobs because of how good he was. And some of those stats he was giving us were unbelievable. So awesome job, James, calling from Massachusetts. Thank you so much, folks. We'll see you next time on Comeback Sports. Enjoy the rest of the week. See you later.